Hello, everybody. Day 2 of the Pythagorean theorem here, and today we're looking at solving for missing legs. So last time we did the hypotenuse over and over and over again. We talked about that longest side C. Today we're talking about either A or B being missing. Again, it doesn't matter which leg is A, which leg is B. It's just two legs. So a little bit same thing, but a little bit different solution process in that there's going to be one or two extra steps just because A and B are together on one side of the equation. So the first one we're going to look at for the right triangle, find the missing side length x. So today it's all legs that you're missing. So when you're missing a leg, remember the legs are those two sides that make up the right angle. It's not the hypotenuse. That hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. So you'll know if it's a leg versus a hypotenuse depending on where on the triangle it is. If it's not straight across from the right angle, it's a leg. So today you're missing legs. It doesn't matter which one we call A, which one we call B. So I could call that A and B with my hypotenuse having to be C. So then my A squared plus B squared equals C squared in this case would be A is my missing variable. You can put X if you want. You can put A. It doesn't matter if you use the variable that they give you or if you call it A or B. It doesn't matter. I like to do A or B or C just to keep it straight. So I've got A squared plus, instead of B squared, I'm going to say 10 squared. Remember, you still have to square it. It's not just 10. It's a 10 squared. And that's going to equal my C squared, which is 20. So my 20 squared. You could have it written like that. Or if you wanted to call your missing leg B and the leg that you know of 10, if you want to call that A, we'd be looking then at 10 squared plus B squared equals C squared. It does not matter which way you go, okay? So let's go with this one first. So the A squared is going to stay A squared. We don't know what that is yet. So it's going to be A squared plus 100, because 10 squared is 100, equals, and then that 20 squared is going to be 400. So right now you're looking at A squared plus 100 equals 400. Now, how do we get this A squared all by itself in order to get A alone? The one extra step happening today is that we've got to move something away from that A squared. It's going to be on the same side as one of our other legs. So to get the A by itself, the A squared by itself, I have to move this positive 100. So I'm going to subtract it to cancel it out. I'm going to do the inverse. So minus 100 from both sides. And I'm going to be left with A squared equaling 300, because 400 minus 100 is 300. So A squared equals 300. Now, with these legs, it may so happen that you end up with decimal answers. So in order to get that A by itself, because remember, it's an A squared right now, you're not done. You have to take the square root from last time, same thing, to cancel out that square. So you're going to end up with A equaling whatever the square root of 300 is. Square root of 300 is going to be 17 point. They want you to go to the nearest hundredth. It'll say that on Alex. So 17.3, that's your tenths, that's your hundredths. 17.32 is going to be your answer. So 17.32 would be your final answer for the length of that missing leg. Now, kind of like how we said last time, your answer should be longer than both your legs. Since you're looking for a leg today, your answer should be smaller than that hypotenuse. Your answer should be something smaller than that C value. Doesn't matter if it's smaller or bigger than the other leg, just has to be smaller than your hypotenuse. And then real quick, just so you see that it's the same no matter which way you write it, if I go with this one over here, I've got 100 for my 10 squared. I've got B squared for my variable equals 400, because that's going to be my 20 squared. And then either way, I'm going to have to subtract 100 again, just like before. I'm going to end up with B squared equals 300, and then the square root will give me that same 17.32. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you call your missing variable A or B. It doesn't matter. It's still just a leg, and you're still going to put that in as the missing variable. It doesn't matter which one you call A, which one you call B. So go to another example. Okay, here I like to just keep it the same every time. I always call my missing leg A. Doesn't matter. You could always call it B. You could alternate. So since the right angle is straight across from that 16, that's your hypotenuse. So your equation is going to say A, I'm going to call that one A and this one B. I'm going to call A squared plus 10 squared equals 16 squared. So A squared plus 100, because that's 10 squared, will equal, again, if you don't know what 16 squared is, 16 squared, 16 squared is going to give me 256. So A squared plus 100 equals 256. I'm going to subtract 100 from both sides, and I'm going to end up with A squared equaling 156. And then last step, don't fall into the trap thinking that's your final answer. You have to get A all by itself by taking the square root. So then A will equal whatever the square root of 156 is. So we've got 156. We take the square root, and it's, again, closest, nearest hundredth. So 12.4 is your tenths, 8 is your hundredths, but you round it based on this number. This 9 is telling that 8 to go up. So you're going to actually end up with 12.49 if we're rounding correctly. 12.49. And that would be your A. That is the missing side. Again, it could be longer or shorter than your other leg, but it has to be smaller than the hypotenuse, and that is definitely smaller than 16. The last type of problem you're going to see in your homework are word problems, but it's the same situation. They're just giving a situation where this is applying. And the Pythagorean theorem is actually one of the more applicable things to real life, as far as the things that you're going to learn and the functions and equations that you're going to learn. So the Pythagorean theorem is used all the time in building to get a perfect right angle. Okay, so if they want to get a perfect right angle here, they know that this diagonal from the top of that frame to the ground is 10, and then they measured out 7 feet on the bottom. Now they're looking for this leg. Okay, they're looking for that leg right there. This 7 is also a leg because the right angle is always across from the hypotenuse. So your equation, I like to always call my missing side A, is going to be A squared plus 7 squared equals 10 squared, because that's your hypotenuse. So I multiply these things out where I can. A squared stays A squared. 7 squared is going to be 49. And 10 squared is going to be 100. So A squared plus 49 equals 100. My next step is going to be to subtract 49 from both sides, and I'm going to be left with A squared is equal to 51. Again, do not fall into the trap thinking that that's your final answer. We have to go ahead and take the square root of both sides, square root, so cancel that thing out, and then your A is going to equal, let's see what the square root of 51 is, and it's a decimal again, round to the nearest hundredth. So this 1 in the thousandths place is telling that 4 to stay put, so it's going to be 7.14. So your A is 7, it's glitching. Your A is going to be 7.14, and that is the height that they needed to find. That is how tall the ladder is from the ground, 7.14 feet. Okay, again, let us know if you have any questions. We're very close to the end. Keep going, guys. Hope everybody's still safe and getting your work done, and this is going smoothly for you by now. We're almost finished up. So again, let us know if you have any questions on the homework, and I hope this helps. Pause it if you want to. Go back and watch it again, whatever you need. Have a good day. Good luck on the homework.